So look, if I were to count the sheer amount of hours I waste on just pointless tasks that didn't move the needle forward for my agency, do I really need to do this? So look, the point is, when I started my agency, there were so many common practices that looking back at it now, it just didn't make sense. And it actually led me to waste so much time. And if I had known the stuff that I'm gonna share with you today, I would have probably been able to cut the 9 months that it took me to scale to that 6-figure mark in probably 3 months. Because look, I've spoken to a lot of agency owners, and I feel like so many agency owners are actually so ashamed by the sheer amount of time they waste on a daily basis. And I'm not talking about the typical time wasters like watching Netflix or watching some YouTube. I'm talking about enslaving away writing hundreds of cold emails to people that don't even care about you and literally getting 0 responses. I'm talking about creating hundreds of video audits that literally get 0 views. I'm talking about creating fancy websites and fancy logos that literally get 0 eyeballs on them. Because look, at the end of the day, how much you make should not be the KPI. The KPI, the yardstick you measure success with, should be how much you make per hour that you work. And that is why in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 actionable strategies that are gonna allow you to automate your agency so you're not having to waste countless hours on stuff that's just not gonna get you results. And you see, this stuff took me around a year to a year and a half of just putting my head down and battle testing these concepts. Sweat and tears were put into these strategies. All for what? Well, number 1, a pretty successful agency. And number 2, a banger of a YouTube video just like this. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to smash the like button. It really helps out the algorithm and I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's go right into the video. So, as always, I've got my trusted notebook with me, and the first point is all about automating your outreach. This is the aspect of building an agency that causes most stress and most pain for most agency owners. I know this because it was definitely my case, and the reason why I created my automated sales funnel, which it seems like is one of the things that I'm known for in the space, and the reason why I created that is because I felt a lot of pain. I just knew there had to be a much better way of going about outreach. I knew there was more to SMMA success than just typing emails nonstop, and that's when I created my automated sales funnel. Now, the first part of the automated sales funnel is all about automating that first touch point. We're going to be automating to the point where they actually show interest in us. And the funny thing is, most agency owners invest most of their time when the prospect hasn't actually invested any time into them. And so instead, we're just gonna cut that whole time investment by completely automating it, and we're gonna go really, really hard when they show an interest. In this video, I'm gonna talk about email automation, and there's just some really great tools for it. I'm actually gonna leave my favorite tool in the description so you guys can check it out. But there's honestly some amazing tools. And what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna create an email sequence with a very clear call to action, and that call to action is gonna stay congruent across the follow-ups as well, because it's important to have a follow-up completely automated as well. So that's really the first component of automating your outreach. And now onto the second one. Now onto the second point, and to be honest, I feel like going in chronological order. And so the next thing we're gonna be automating is the sales. And you might be asking, how do we automate the sales? Like, don't we actually have to jump on a call with them to actually close them? And the answer is yes, right? But there's a massive step before that, which for most agency owners is just typically going back and forth on email and trying to convince them to jump on a call, right? And this back and forth is what most agency owners spend 1 to 2 hours a day doing. If you think about it, it's actually crazy, and I was doing that. And if you're doing that, well, here is the solution. What you want to do is you want to create a case study or just a very simple vetting page. Now let's talk about the vetting page. Now the thing about a case study funnel, if you guys don't know what it is basically we drive traffic to a landing page. People opt in with their email because they're promised certain value in that masterclass or in that case study, right? And then we go on to indoctrinate them with the slideshow or the presentation. And at the end of it, there's a call to action, which typically for an agency is to book in a call. Now, that's actually a bit daunting for most people. And if you're starting out, I do not recommend you do that. Why? Because that type of sales funnel is actually more primed if you're running Facebook ads to acquire clients, because you need to hit them with a much more irresistible offer for them to actually opt into your case study, because they are cold traffic. But if we're reaching out to them via email, ideally we've actually warmed out that interaction and we don't need a case study. Instead, a vetting page can do the job. And what we need to have on a vetting page is an irresistible offer. And in this case, it's gonna be our demo call, our consultation call, whatever you wanna call it, right? And what we wanna do on that vetting page is, number 1, build up our authority and our social proof, right? So you can talk about the clients you've worked with. If you haven't actually worked with any clients, talk about the way you work and the type of clients that you like to take on. Then talk about what they can expect on the demo call. This is vital, otherwise they won't actually take it, and explain to them the fact that it's no strings attached, no obligation. If you do these 3 things, you have a very good shot at actually closing them. But the great thing about this vetting page is that you're not doing the pitching every single time. Ideally, you've created a video or just simply an image with your face on, right? It's very important that you have that human element, because at the end of the day, B2B sales is all about that interpersonal side of things. So that is that for the second point, creating a vetting page or something that front loads your pitch, which is massive. And that is how we automate our sales, by having a predictable system. And now onto the third point. Okay, we're now on to the final point. That one pretty fast, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, drop a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And YouTube just oddly finds it really sexy when that little gray thumbs up turns blue. So go ahead and smash the like button. And now the final point, and you might be wondering, well, Jaime, what is there to automate? Like, we've pretty much automated outreach, we've automated sales. Like, what else do you want to automate? Obviously, there's a human touch to an agency. Are you working on a robot to speak to clients? Like what are we actually going to automate? This is a very good question, and really just a topic that I don't see anyone talk about, and that is reporting. How do we actually automate reporting for our clients? And well, there's a few hacks that you can implement. The way we're going to be doing this is we're going to find a tool that's going to take the Facebook Ads Manager data and it's going to populate it on some sort of ecosystem that the client has access to. And you might be wondering, well, they have access to Facebook Ads Manager. Why not just have them see the data themselves? And the reason why you don't want to do that is because from my experience with working with 30 plus clients, they really do not like the Facebook Ads Manager. They find it confusing, and even when we train them on how to navigate it, they still find it quite confusing. So what you want to do instead is you want to use a tool like Google Data Studio. There are a few templates out there that you can either buy or just get for free. Make sure that the branding matches your agency's branding. And this is going to allow you to completely automate the reporting because it's actually going to connect to the Facebook Ads Manager and populate it automatically onto a Google Data Studio Sheets. And not only does it automate it, but it actually looks sick and very professional for your agency. And so that, my friends, is the third way we're going to be automating our agency. So that is that for this video. I really hope you guys took a lot of value from these strategies, and hopefully you are on your way to at least automating part of your agency. Now, if you enjoyed this video, again, I'm sure you've heard this from other YouTubers, but we truly mean it when we say it actually helps out a ton. It helps my team and I to stay motivated and keep putting energy into these videos, and hopefully helping a ton of you. Do not sub to my YouTube channel. I really do not recommend subbing to my YouTube channel. There's honestly not much content coming out. And I really don't recommend you sub to my YouTube channel. And the final thing is, if you haven't joined my free private mentorship community, the Client Closers, it's an incredible community full of like-minded people looking to scale their agency and level up in life. You might learn a thing or two. I'm doing live interviews with really cool people, live trainings. I'm going live for Ask Me Anythings and posting a lot of content there that I'm not posting anywhere else. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and apply with the link in the bio. And as always, guys, hope everything's going well in your agency journey, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.